Hi everybody and welcome back to my channel. So today, are you ready for some, I almost got it the wrong side. You ready for some Bible bashing? Yeah, that's what I want to do with racists. Like, I just can't handle them. So today, we're gonna talk about a biblical perspective on racism and interracial relationships. So if you're interested in what the Bible says about those things, stay tuned. And also, like this video and subscribe and comment and share and like. Yeah, okay, cool. So let's get into it. I actually made a list for this video. It's very, okay, I don't know if you can see anything. It's kind of long. There's a lot of stuff to get into. But let's just start at the beginning. Firstly, I just want to know, do you believe in Adam and Eve? I mean, do you believe God created Adam and Eve and everybody in the whole entire world actually comes from them? Like, I hope you do believe that if you're a Christian and you believe in the Bible, because I do. So firstly, racism is dumb because we all came from the same two people and the same God. So I just find it dumb. Oh my gosh. Anyway, so that's my first point, by the way, that God made Adam and Eve and He made both of them in His image, and all of us came from them. So we're all made in the image of God. So why would you hate the image of God? I don't know. I don't understand this line. By the way, racism really pisses me off. Like, it makes my insides boil. I can't describe it. It's just... The second point is, I think, from Genesis again. Because, so Joseph married an Ethiopian woman. Ethiopia is in Africa, so that would be black people, and he was a Hebrew type of person. So basically that was an interracial marriage and it was fine. God had no problem with it, firstly. Secondly, okay, that would be thirdly. Let's not do the point system. Sorry. Another point is that the Israelites, right? So what happened is, like, Joseph and his whole family eventually, after there's a famine, came and lived in Egypt. And they were slaves in Egypt. But here's the thing, they weren't the only slaves in Egypt. Egypt had slaves from all over the place. So when Moses came to the Pharaoh and said, "Let my people go," right? Every person who decided to follow God in that instance became part of the Israelites. Like, the whole 10 plagues thing. And then the last plague, they had to put the blood on the door frames or whatever. Whoever decided to do that, no matter what their ethnicity or race, whatever, doesn't matter. If they chose in that instance, I never knew this God, but because of this, I believe in Him. They did that and they moved away with Moses. They became the Israelites. Which then, they also then became the Jews, which we now know as a specific ethnicity. But at that point, they weren't pure, It's not just one race. They were whatever they were. So that's another point. Here's another great one. So Moses married a woman. They're not sure whether this was the second woman he married or the first one, but that's not really the point. The point is, this woman was from another race. She might have also been Ethiopian. They're not sure. By them, I mean Bible scholars. The point is, Miriam and Aaron, both of them weren't pleased about this, and it was because of her race, because they were racist. And you know what? God punished them. Like, literally, I'm not even joking. You can go read Numbers 12. Go read it. And read some commentaries and dictionaries. Like Bible dictionaries, Bible commentaries. Okay. Then, I want to address Deuteronomy, that's how you pronounce it, right? Deuteronomy 7 verse 3 to 4, which is, I think it's the verse where people always, that's how they defend that you shouldn't be in an interracial relationship. It's where God says, don't mix with these people or that people or whatever. Don't take their daughters as wives or their men as husbands. But in the next verse, it says, because then you will follow their gods. So it's not a racial thing, it's a religious thing. So it really doesn't matter what race you marry, but you should marry a Christian. Yes, because it just literally doesn't make sense if you don't marry a Christian. Like, you're a Christian, believe in Jesus. I believe that, I hope you believe that marriage is a covenant between man, woman, and God. So I just don't get how you can marry someone who doesn't believe in that God. Like, how's that a covenant between three people if you disregard the third person? Makes no sense. Yeah. Anyway, let's not get into that. Then, Jesus said something about marriage. He said, for this reason, a man will leave his father and mother and will live with his wife. The two will become one. Does he say the white man and the white woman, or the black man and the black woman? No, he just says a man and a woman, a husband and a wife. So Jesus knows marriage is between a man and a woman, but it doesn't matter what the race is, because racism is dumb. I'm gonna say that so many times because I just don't understand how the church can justify racism or be a part of it. It's just ugly and unnecessary, and I think it's like the lowest of low. But that's just my opinion. In Galatians 3:28, Paul says, there is neither Jew nor Greek, there is neither slave nor free, there is no male or female, for you are all one in Christ. And so he really just emphasizes that these differences don't make us better or worse than one another, and we're on an equal level. We have the same value, and therefore race really shouldn't matter. Like, I have nothing against people who aren't attracted to other races. It's the same thing, like if you're only attracted to blondes, that's fine. I have no problem with that. I have no problem with people who only date within their races. But if you have a problem with interracial relationships, I have a problem with you. Like, why? And also, yeah, we can do a whole video on systematic racism as well, because it's really a mindset. And the point is just that if you think that you're worth more than someone else based on their race, like, you don't understand the Jesus story. There's a mismatch somewhere. Because Jesus, like, when we look at the story of Jesus, he crossed a lot of cultural barriers and racial barriers to reach out to people, because he never thought that he was better. He never, and he was God. He is literally God. Like, I mean, seriously. Then also, I just want to point out one thing. Like, if you say, okay, but like, homosexual relationships are justified by this verse because it says there's no male or female, you misunderstand the point of this specific verse, and then you also disregard that Jesus specifically says that marriage is between man and woman. Just to put that in there, because I feel like there will be people who are like, yeah, but you know it says that. So yeah. Okay, another thing. Did you know that Peter was racist? Like, yeah, did not like the Gentiles. And so he didn't even want to go to them and tell them about Jesus, because he was like, they're dirty. But you know what Jesus did? He said, Peter, because you feel that way, you have to go to the Gentiles. And it was a tough situation, but he went, and he realized that he has no right to treat or think about people that way, because Jesus came to die for them as well. Isn't that a great story? That's in Acts 10 verse 34 to 35. And he specifically says God does not show favoritism. Because he doesn't, because he made you and he loves you. Then Romans Guys, I freaking love, I said freaking if you're offended, or I'm sorry, but anyway, I love Romans. It's like the best book. Okay, I mean the whole Bible isn't good. It's like the right book. But Romans, you know, it's just something very dear to my heart. The whole Romans is about unity. Like, the whole entire book. Like, it's just written to unite the Jews and the Gentiles. To be like, no, you're not better. No, you're not better. You're all equal. You all, like, we've all fallen short of the glory of God. Yet, you know what? He has grace for both of us. We just need to love Jesus together. In fact, you know what? In Romans, Paul talks about how when Jesus came, he actually redefined, I'm not sure, what it means to be a Jew or a chosen person. That it no longer is about like what you're born into, but completely about whether you choose Jesus. If you choose Jesus, you're technically now a Jew or a chosen person. God doesn't have a special place for the Jews because they whatever. No. If you don't choose Jesus, you don't choose him. Like, if you choose him, you're part of the chosen ones. That is the way it's made. So, you know? Just a fun fact. But there it also says, God shows no partiality. He doesn't, because he loves us equally. Then, guys, there's two more things that I want to say. I hope this whole video makes sense. Yeah. Comment down below if you like this type of video and if you want to see something like this again. So Acts 17 verse 26, it says, for one man, it says from one man he made all the nations. Again, Adam and Eve, we all come from the same two people. And then something else that I really want to touch on is the fact that we cannot hate people and love God. You cannot hate, like, this is specifically aimed at like racism and because of someone's race, but overall, like, if you hate someone, you don't love God. Like 1 John 2 literally says, whoever hates his partner, what am I saying? Whoever hates his brother is in the darkness. And literally says that if you hate your brother, you don't love God. You don't understand what it means to love God. Because all the laws can be summed up into two things. Firstly, love the Lord your God with all your heart and all your mind, all your soul. Like with all parts of your being. And the second thing is love your neighbor as yourself. When we look at like the prayer that Jesus prayed just before he was crucified in John, he says like he puts the love that he has for us within us. Like we literally have the same capacity for love that Jesus has. Do you like even understand how much that is? Like you might think you can't love everybody, but you can. Like the love of God is literally within you. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I have said this before, but please like. Also, subscribe to my channel and share this video with anyone you think needs to hear the message, you know? What else okay, so soon I'm gonna do, my next video is probably gonna be the one where I talk about why Jesus wants women to preach, you know, and teach, and how much he loves women, because, you know, he's great and I love Jesus. That's all for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Remember, you are so loved. Have a nice day. Bye!